Have you ever found yourself drained by the constant negativity of a toxic coworker? Or trapped in an argument with a narcissist who twists every word you say? Maybe it's the stranger on the train, invading your space with their loud conversations and bad manners. The truth is, difficult people are everywhere, and they can make life unbearable if you let them. But what if I told you that you don't have to be affected by their behavior? That there's a way to rise above their toxicity and maintain unshakable inner peace. Stoicism provides the blueprint for handling jerks, manipulators, and energy-draining individuals without losing control of your own emotions. And today, you're going to learn how. Before we dive in, if you want to master your mindset, protect your energy, and become mentally unbreakable, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Beyond Vision Mindset, and turn on notifications so you never miss powerful wisdom that can change your life. Now, let's begin. 1. Control what you can, ignore what you can't. Imagine a man stuck in rush hour traffic, furious at the honking cars and reckless drivers around him. His face is tense, his hands grip the wheel, and every red light feels like a personal attack. Meanwhile, another man in the same traffic sits back, relaxed, listening to music, unaffected by the chaos outside. What's the difference? It's not the situation, it's the mindset. The first man wastes his energy fighting what he cannot control, while the second man understands a fundamental Stoic truth. External events don't cause distress, our interpretation of them does. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, taught that the key to peace is recognizing what is within our power and what isn't. Other people's words, actions, and emotions are not in our control. But how we react to them, that's entirely up to us. When a coworker gossips about you, when a stranger shoves past you in a hurry, or when a manipulative person tries to provoke you, you have a choice. You can react with frustration, letting their negativity disrupt your state of mind. Or, you can detach, acknowledge their behavior for what it is and refuse to let it affect you. This doesn't mean becoming passive or tolerating disrespect. It means understanding that your peace is not something anyone else should have the power to take away. Picture yourself as a rock in a stormy sea. The waves crash against you, but you remain unshaken. That's the essence of Stoic control, not controlling others, but mastering yourself. A perfect example of this principle in action comes from the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Despite facing betrayal, wars, and political deceit, he maintained a steady mind. His personal writings, later compiled into meditations, reveal his approach. Never let another person's chaos become your own. When someone offends you, remind yourself, I can't control them, but I can control how I respond. That simple shift in thinking changes everything. So the next time you encounter a difficult person, pause. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Is this within my control? If not, let it go. Your peace is too valuable to be placed in the hands of someone who thrives on negativity. Focus only on what you can change, your thoughts, your actions, and your mindset. That is where true power lies. 2. Don't let them steal your peace. Difficult people feed on your reactions. Whether it's a narcissist craving attention, a bully seeking dominance, or a toxic coworker trying to provoke you, their power comes from your emotional response. The moment you let them frustrate you, annoy you, or throw you off balance, you've given him control over your state of mind. But what if you refused to play the game? What if you remained completely unbothered, no matter what they said or did? That is the essence of Stoic resilience, mastering your emotions so that no one else can manipulate them. Marcus Aurelius understood this well. As emperor, he dealt with betrayal, criticism, and constant challenges from those who sought to undermine him. Yet, instead of reacting with anger or frustration, he practiced inner stillness. He reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This lesson applies directly to dealing with difficult people. The more you allow someone's negativity to affect you, the more control they have over you. The moment you stop reacting, you take your power back. Think about the last time someone upset you. Maybe they insulted you, dismissed your opinion, or tried to provoke an argument. How did you respond? Did you get defensive? Did you feel the urge to prove them wrong? That's exactly what they wanted. But what if, instead, you responded with indifference? What if their words meant nothing to you? Imagine how frustrating that would be for them. When a toxic person realizes they can't shake your composure, they lose their grip on you. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions or pretending negativity doesn't exist. It means choosing not to be affected by things that don't deserve your energy. It's about training yourself to remain calm, even when provoked. A great way to do this is through the Stoic practice of negative visualization. Before encountering a difficult person, mentally prepare for the worst they might say or do. If you expect rudeness, insults, or manipulation, they won't catch you off guard. And when the moment comes, you'll be ready, emotionally steady, unshaken, and completely in control. Another powerful strategy is mastering your breath. The Stoics knew that emotions often manifest in the body before the mind catches up. When you feel anger or frustration rising, take a slow, deep breath. This simple act disrupts the automatic emotional reaction and gives you a moment to choose a more rational response. Instead of snapping back, you pause. Instead of feeding the drama, you starve it. So the next time a narcissist tries to bait you, a rude stranger tests your patience, or an aggressive coworker seeks to intimidate you, remember this. Their behavior is a reflection of them, not you. Their words have no power unless you give them meaning. Protect your peace fiercely. Respond with composure. And most importantly, never let someone else's dysfunction dictate your emotions. 3. Master the art of strategic silence. Silence is one of the most powerful weapons in dealing with difficult people. It disarms manipulators, frustrates narcissists, and leaves toxic individuals without the reaction they crave. Most people feel an instinctive need to defend themselves when attacked, explain their position when challenged, or fight back when provoked. But Stoicism teaches a different approach, one of restraint, self-control, and deliberate silence. By refusing to engage in pointless arguments or emotional battles, you maintain control over yourself while allowing the other person to expose their own flaws. Seneca once said that the strongest person is the one who remains unmoved by insults. Words only have power when you grant them meaning. When someone insults you, pressures you, or tries to manipulate you into reacting, your silence speaks louder than any argument. A narcissist thrives on emotional engagement. If they push you and you respond with anger, they win. If they insult you and you defend yourself, they gain control of the conversation. But if you stay silent, unfazed, and emotionally indifferent, their power over you vanishes. Strategic silence is not about weakness or passivity. It is about choosing when and how to engage. If a manipulative coworker spreads rumors about you, Confronting them in anger only fuels their fire. But if you ignore them, refuse to validate their behavior, and continue excelling in your work, their words become meaningless. If a toxic family member tries to bait you into a fight, arguing only gives them what they want. But if you calmly walk away, refusing to participate in their negativity, they lose their hold over you. This principle is especially useful when dealing with people who seek control through intimidation. Imagine a scenario where someone insults you in front of others, expecting you to lash out and make a scene. Instead of reacting, you pause, look at them calmly, and say nothing. That moment of silence is far more powerful than any retort. It forces them to confront their own behavior without your participation. In many cases, they will become uncomfortable and back down, realizing they cannot shake you. Another advantage of strategic silence is that it allows you to observe more than you reveal. When you speak, you give away information. When you remain silent, you force the other person to expose their intentions. A person who talks too much in a conflict often reveals their own insecurities. A person who remains silent maintains an air of control and mystery. This is why some of the wisest and most powerful leaders throughout history have been known for their ability to listen more than they speak. But mastering silence does not mean bottling up emotions. It means choosing your battles wisely. There are times when speaking up is necessary, but there are also times when silence is the ultimate display of strength. Every time you hold back from reacting emotionally to a difficult person, you train yourself to become mentally stronger. You remind yourself that their words and actions do not define you. And most importantly, you prove to yourself that true power comes not from controlling others, but from controlling yourself. 4. Control your perspective and reframe the situation. The way you perceive difficult people and challenging situations determines how much power they have over you. If you see a toxic coworker as a relentless enemy, their presence will feel suffocating. If you view a narcissistic family member as an inescapable burden, their behavior will consume your energy. But if you shift your perspective, reframing the situation through a Stoic lens, you regain control. You stop seeing them as personal threats and start seeing them as tests, opportunities to strengthen your discipline, patience, and emotional resilience. Epictetus taught that people don't upset us, our judgments about them do. Imagine a rude stranger shoves past you in a crowded space. Your instinct might be to take offense, to believe they disrespected you, and to react with anger. But what if, instead, you assumed they were in a rush for an emergency? Or that they were lost in thought, unaware of their actions? The situation itself remains the same, but your interpretation of it changes everything. Instead of feeling disrespected, you feel indifferent. Instead of carrying frustration, you move on, unaffected. This mindset applies to every difficult person you encounter. If you see an argumentative coworker as an obstacle, they will irritate you daily. But if you reframe them as a lesson in patience, every interaction becomes an opportunity to practice self-control. If you view a manipulative narcissist as a tormentor, you will feel trapped in their games. But if you see them as a predictable pattern, you become immune to their tricks. The problem is not the person, it's the meaning you attach to their behavior. Reframing also removes the emotional charge from conflicts. Suppose someone constantly criticizes you, trying to make you feel inadequate. Instead of feeling insulted, what if you saw their criticism as a reflection of their own insecurities? Instead of absorbing their negativity, what if you treated their words as empty noise? When you shift your perception, their ability to affect you disappears. They don't control your emotions, you do. Another way to reframe difficult people is by seeing them as teachers of self-mastery. The Stoics believed that every hardship is an opportunity to grow. A toxic boss teaches you how to remain composed under pressure. A manipulative partner teaches you the importance of setting boundaries. A disrespectful stranger teaches you how to let go of ego-driven reactions. When you view every challenge as a lesson, you become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. This practice does not mean tolerating abuse or accepting mistreatment. It means choosing your internal response wisely. You can acknowledge a person's toxicity without letting it consume your thoughts. You can set boundaries without carrying emotional baggage. You can recognize someone's flaws without letting them ruin your peace. At the end of the day, you are responsible for how you interpret and react to every situation. And by reframing difficult people as opportunities for growth rather than sources of suffering, you reclaim your power and keep your inner world untouchable. 6. Detach emotionally and stop taking things personally. One of the greatest strengths a Stoic can develop is emotional detachment, the ability to remain calm, composed, and unshaken no matter how difficult people behave. The moment you take things personally, you hand over control of your emotions to someone else. You allow their words, actions, and manipulations to dictate your internal state. But when you detach emotionally, you become untouchable. You no longer react impulsively to insults, criticism, or toxic behavior. Instead, you observe, analyze, and respond only when necessary. Most people believe that emotional reactions are a sign of strength, that fighting back proves dominance, or that defending yourself means self-respect. But the truth is, the strongest person in any situation is the one who remains unaffected. When a narcissist provokes you, they expect an emotional reaction. When a toxic coworker criticizes you, they want to see you flustered. When a manipulative person plays mind games, they feed off your frustration. The moment you react, you validate their efforts. But when you remain detached, calm, indifferent, and unaffected, their power over you dissolves. The Stoics understood that external events are beyond our control, but our reactions are always within our control. If someone insults you, their words mean nothing unless you assign them value. If someone spreads rumors about you, their lies only affect you if you believe them. If someone tries to humiliate you, their attempt is meaningless unless you let it disturb your inner peace. The key is to separate yourself from the opinions and actions of others. Their behavior is a reflection of them, not of you. Emotional detachment does not mean being cold or indifferent to everything in life. It means mastering the ability to choose when and how to engage. It means refusing to let difficult people live rent-free in your mind. It means reminding yourself that their words and actions have no power unless you allow them to. Instead of reacting emotionally, practice stepping back and seeing the bigger picture. Ask yourself, does this person's opinion truly matter? Will their words affect my future in any way? Is their attempt to upset me worth my energy? In most cases, the answer is no. A practical way to develop emotional detachment is to view difficult people as mere characters in a play. Imagine you are watching them from a distance, as if they are actors following a predictable script. A narcissist plays the role of the self-absorbed manipulator. A toxic coworker plays the role of the office troublemaker. A rude stranger plays the role of the impulsive agitator. When you see their behavior as scripted and predictable, you stop feeling personally attacked. Instead, you remain an observer, unaffected by their performance. Ultimately, emotional detachment is about protecting your peace. It is about recognizing that difficult people only have as much influence over you as you give them. The more you detach from their words and actions, the less control they have over your mind. And when you master this ability, you become immune to their games. You become the calm in the storm. You become the person who remains composed while others lose control. And in that state of unwavering self-control, you hold the true power in every interaction. 7. Master the art of strategic disengagement. Sometimes, the best way to deal with difficult people is not through argument, reasoning, or confrontation, but through complete disengagement. The Stoics believed that energy is a limited resource and should not be wasted on people or situations that do not serve a greater purpose. When faced with toxic individuals, whether narcissists, manipulators, or those who thrive on conflict, the most powerful response is often silence and distance. Instead of fighting for validation or trying to change them, you simply withdraw your attention and move on with your life. Many people struggle with this concept because they believe walking away is a sign of weakness. They feel the need to prove themselves, to argue their point, or to force a difficult person to acknowledge their wrongdoings. But the truth is, engaging with toxic people only drags you into their chaos. They want your energy. They want your reactions. They want to pull you into their cycle of dysfunction. The more you engage, the more power you give them. But when you stop reacting, when you refuse to participate in their games, they lose control over you. The Stoics understood that true power lies in what you choose to ignore. If someone insults you and you respond with anger, you validate their attack. If a narcissist tries to manipulate you and you argue back, you feed into their need for control. If a toxic friend constantly brings drama into your life and you keep engaging, you are willingly allowing negativity into your space. But when you disengage, when you stop responding, stop defending yourself, stop justifying your actions, you starve them of the reaction they crave. Strategic disengagement does not always mean cutting people off completely. Sometimes, it means setting strong mental and emotional boundaries. You may still work with a difficult coworker, but you no longer entertain their gossip or negativity. You may have a toxic family member, but you refuse to get drawn into their manipulations. You remain present, but detached. Engaged when necessary, but never emotionally invested. This level of control ensures that you interact on your terms, not theirs. Another form of disengagement is removing toxic individuals from your life entirely. There is no rule that says you must tolerate mistreatment just because someone is a friend, family member, or colleague. If a person repeatedly disrespects your boundaries, drains your energy, or brings nothing but negativity into your life, you have the right to walk away. You owe them nothing, not your time, not your explanations, and certainly not your peace. When you master the art of disengagement, you free yourself from unnecessary stress. You no longer waste energy on people who do not deserve it. You no longer seek validation from those incapable of giving it. You no longer allow toxic individuals to occupy space in your mind. Instead, you redirect your focus to what truly matters, your goals, your growth, and your peace of mind. In the end, Stoicism teaches that your life is too valuable to be spent on pointless conflicts, draining relationships, or people who refuse to change. You cannot control the actions of others, but you can always control your response. And sometimes, the most powerful response is simply walking away without a word. Conclusion. Dealing with difficult people, whether they are narcissists, manipulators, or just everyday troublemakers, can be exhausting. But Stoicism teaches us that true strength is not found in arguing, fighting, or trying to change others. It is found in controlling ourselves. The moment you stop letting these people dictate your emotions, the moment you stop reacting to their provocations, you take back your power. By mastering emotional detachment, setting firm boundaries, and strategically disengaging, you create an unshakable foundation of self-respect and inner peace. You stop wasting energy on those who don't deserve it. You stop explaining yourself to people who will never listen. You stop allowing toxic individuals to live in your mind rent-free. Instead, you focus on what truly matters: your growth, your peace, and your purpose. Difficult people will always exist. The world will never run out of manipulators, narcissists, and toxic personalities. But how much they affect you is entirely up to you. Will you let them drain your energy, control your emotions, and disrupt your life? Or will you rise above, remain composed, and refuse to let their negativity define your path? The choice is yours. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share your thoughts below. How do you deal with difficult people in your life? And if you're serious about mastering your mindset and becoming unshakable, subscribe to Beyond Vision Mindset for more powerful insights on self-mastery and personal growth. Stay strong, stay focused, and keep building the life you deserve.